Thank you.
You are welcome.
Welcome to Tread HQ. We are based in Marianne's dad's conservatory at a secret location in Shropshire.
It's not actually that secret.
It's not secret at all because Trudy's parked outside and she stands out like a sore thumb.
But we've needed a location that we can actually spread out, put some maps up, and actually work through with a printer, with good Wi-Fi connection, and be able to make landline phone calls. It's also really important to have an address as well, isn't it? Whilst we're applying for visas and carnets and things like that.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free.
So each week we're going to share with you what we get up to on a weekly basis. And if you want to know more information, some people have asked us about the finances and want more detailed things. I do a monthly blog post on our website showing you how much we earn from YouTube and how much this trip is costing us as we get ready.
Indeed, and also I do a weekly newsletter you can subscribe on the website, and that gives a real time of what we're doing, either what we've achieved that week and also what we're planning on, hoping, fingers crossed, to achieve the following week.
So one of the other things that we're going to include in our videos is a diary cam. So we're going to share with you exactly how we feel and all those moments during this trip when we have those moments. So planning this trip has been absolutely monumentous. I have definitely lost more hair and my beard has definitely gone greyer. But the first thing that we wanted to do was come up with a provisional route for the trip.
Yeah, that's actually the one we announced on our big trip announcement.
But as we started to look at the route in more detail, there is a lot of things to consider.
For example, when we originally came up with this crazy plan of driving our vehicle around the world, we actually had an original route to go through China down into Laos and Thailand. But actually doing more investigation and more research, you actually learn that there are things that will scupper your plans. For example, the Thai border sometimes doesn't let international foreign number plates through. Also through China, there would be a massive financial commitment that we just don't have right now. We don't have the funds to do. We would love to do it in the future, but for this trip, it's not going to happen.
There's a number of forums online and on Facebook and things of overlanding which are packed with useful information that we've used during our research.
Yeah, the research that you have to do. In fact, Chris and I were saying that if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah, I think that's the case, really.
Yeah, and we know why everyone is not doing it. We have been on the phone for hours.
Just a second ago. Hello. So thank you very much for clearing up that we can only get double entry and 30 days.
We've been sat at our computers for hours. We've been researching, adding questions to forums, reading up from forums. We've even had a friend called Martin who has done it on his motorbike.
We met Martin originally in Panama.
Love Martin.
And Martin, as Marianne said, driven around the world on his motorbike, and he's back in the UK for a few weeks, so we invited him up to sunny Shropshire to come and see us, and we tapped his brain on everything from border crossings to route planning.
Okay, northern Georgia into Russia has a few issues, and that's where the mountains are. If we avoid the mountains between Russia and Georgia and skim in between them, I know it sounds really easy.
You may be fine. And roads tend to be laid, obviously, where the
Traffic, follow the heavy traffic.
There's lake up here as well.
And what's the weather like in May, June time?
He has been an absolute godsend.
Yeah, he's been a mythbuster as well. All those worrying things that you think about, he's been able to put it all into perspective.
Absolutely. So when we were planning the route that we have come up with, there are lots of things to consider. For us personally, we are meeting family and friends in Malaysia in August. So between January, we have to get to Malaysia for the 1st of August. But there's a lot of other things to consider, like for example the weather. We can't really enter Russia before spring because it will be too cold. So we have to plan the route in accordance to the weather forecast. And even more importantly, to make yourself legal, it's the visas.
Oh yes.
And every country has different lengths of visas, and they're valid for different lengths of time, and you can only apply certain amounts of time before you actually enter the country.
Yeah, there's no structure to it at all.
No, and the Foreign Office website, the British Foreign Office website, is an absolute brilliant resource for looking at that, and they've got links to all the different embassy sites, which will give you more and more information.
In fact, I'm going to add to that. I just had a lovely conversation with the Mongolian embassy, who were incredibly helpful, because I can only apply, or we can only apply for our visa 3 months before we arrive in Mongolia. Well, of course, we're on the road. So we went through a list of consulates and embassies on the road, Moscow, Rome, which we're obviously not going to be going through, but there is one in Kazakhstan, in Nur-Sultan. So we're actually going to be, and we'll be filming this and sharing this with you guys, we're going to be applying for our Mongolian visas whilst we're in Kazakhstan. So these idiosyncrasies are just fantastic.
One of the things we do need when we apply for all of these visas is a lot of passport photographs. So I've worked out that it's actually cheaper to try and get a digital photo and then order them in bulk online. So that's exactly what we're going to do. But I think before I do that, I need to go and have a shave. Ta-da! 10 years younger, at least. This has got to be the cleanest shaven I have been since we've been on the road. So now we're off to get some passport photos. Where's what? Next to Kazakhstan.
Yeah. Ulaanbaatar is the capital. So we're getting a digital photograph that we can use for the application on our visas, and we are very lucky. Our local Tesco's will do this, but what's happened is we've actually found out at this stage that it's different sizes for different countries, and also sometimes apparently the background of the photo has to be a different colour. So we'll give an update on that once we've established the rules.
Sizes.
I think so.
Oh, that's all right then.
Well, that was really interesting, and the lady there called Lindsay was absolutely fascinating. She actually had so much information that was completely relevant to what we were doing, and the stuff she didn't know she looked up straight away. So the photos that we need, the ratio and head size of our faces that need to be on the size, different sizes of those photos, we have all that information, and she's printed some of the sheets out for us. So cheers, Lindsay, thank you for your help.
You need to stick to a route. You need to pay for the guide's hotel, accommodation, and no, 3, 2, 1, that's terrible. I've just repeated myself for 4 times. Is it me or you?
It's me. It's
Okay.
always me.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And
Loving it. I hate photos.
Well, you've got a YouTube channel.
Filters.
Fantastic. You're
Oh.
awesome.